If you're confused about where gold is headed next week, this video will clear that up for you. We're going to go over the technicals and the fundamentals and what we can expect going into next week and how we can look to play the game of gold. That is very recently being very tricky, especially during this very high consolidation period right here that we have seen ever since we have had the sell-off, of course, that we called right here on this YouTube channel. So first of all, we have to pay attention to this consolidation, right? We have to. Gold has been very tricky, and right now we're coming together. It's creating what they like to call. I mean, I don't personally trade these patterns, but I can recognize them and I can understand them, right? This is a short. This is a squeeze, basically. Some people would call this a short squeeze or a bullish squeeze, whatever you want to call it. Basically, we are at a very strong resistance in 4025, and we're also trending to the upside. Okay. Now we're bouncing around this 4,000 level. It's been like an absolute magnet on gold, but it has become a very inconsistent level for me. So I am just deleting this level off my chart. There's no point trying to trade this because every time gold tries to move up above it, it gets slammed back down into 4,000. And every time it tries to move below it, it pushes straight back up into 4,000. And then it just likes to trickle around in this area for a little bit. So the technical levels that I have right now, and we're on the 4-hour time frame, are 4025 right here and 3915 right here. Okay, if we can get some clean closures above 4025, some clean price action, and we can sustain above this level, then I'll be looking to take gold up into 4080 right here, first of all. Then maybe even into 4150. If gold can push up into 4150, I feel like this is a beautiful pullback. And we can see that the last time gold went in here, we broke below it, we retested it once, twice, and from there, beautiful sell-off. That's where we had this extended move to the downside right here. So if we can push back up into this and we keep consolidating here, maybe a little bit further on into next week, then we get the tap into 4150. I feel like we can sell off from there as well because we'll be grabbing liquidity for the next leg down. Below that, if we do find more resistance here and we fail to break 4025 again, I'll be looking below 3915 to come down and hit my target. Of course, that has been my target now for the past almost 3 weeks, I think, since we had this sell-off, is the 3846 level. 3846. So closures below 3915. And I'm talking valid closures. Right now, we are on the 4-hour time frame. We're getting some fake outs. So maybe the 4-hour time frame isn't valid. Maybe we can go up to a higher time frame like the 12 hours. Well, maybe the daily, right? If we can get a daily closure below 3915, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, we can look for gold to move down then into that 3846 level, which has been a heavy target of mine. And that is a beautiful move right there. More than enough range to come down. And we can see how the daily time frame is playing around these two levels at this point. This is where we are bouncing. This is where we are consolidating. So that is the technical standpoint. But more importantly, we need to understand what's going on fundamentally, because this is what is going to drive gold to one of these levels, either the 4150 or the 3846. Now, the first scenario we're going to look at is a bullish scenario for gold. Bullish. And a bullish scenario would look like the end to the government shutdown. The data here for inflation comes out, CPI and PPI, and it's soft, which means inflation isn't growing as quick or as much as the Fed have forecasted, right? And, you know, Donald Trump is saying in all of his interviews, inflation is down, inflation is down. I'm pretty sure recently he said that it's 1%. So if that data comes out, if we get this data now, don't forget we are still in a government shutdown, and it is likely we will not get this information. But there is a lot of reports right now that it's coming to an end. They're working on a deal, right? They will vote to end the U.S. government today, which is currently the 9th of November. If this happens and we get an end in sight and we start getting this data released, this CPI, PPI, And like I said, it comes out soft, which means inflation isn't growing as quickly as they forecast. Then that is likely, from that information, they can then make the decision based on that, that they will have to cut the rates more. They'll have to bring the rates down again, the interest rates, which is going to make gold move back to the upside. It's going to make it extremely bullish. And that's where we could be flying into these 4080, 4150 levels, even beyond that, right? That is the bullish scenario. We get the data this week and it's soft, which then leads the Fed to pretty much having to cut the rates again. On the flip side, the bearish side, and it's right now, it's all dependent on inflation and interest rates. In my opinion, gold is being heavily driven by this, as well as, of course, the trade deals. That's why we're seeing a bullish dollar at the moment, or we did see it most recently last week. We saw gold, the dollar DXY going on this absolute crazy move to the upside, tapping back into above that 100 level, and 100 and 250, I think it was 100, 250. This was the level I was talking about a little bit earlier. Yeah, 100, 250. I did say that last time dollar was in this level, it had a huge sell-off, and we've tapped back into it again, and we're seeing a little bit of a reaction here. But obviously, we are currently in some sort of structure right here, some bullish structure, where gold, I keep saying gold, the dollar could bounce, right? So the bearish scenario for gold is inflation comes out and it's higher than expected, higher than forecast, or inflation is growing, which means at that point, I don't think they will raise the rates again, but they might come out now and say, yep, because obviously the previous on when was it, like the previous rate cuts where they cut it, Jerome Powell came out and said, December rate cuts are not certain at this point. We're not sure, right? It's not a given, basically. Even though back in September, he said there is most likely and most probably going to be 2 more rate cuts in 2025. One of them was in October, and then the other one was supposed to be in December. But now they're saying, we're not too sure about that. We're just going to have to wait and see. So if this inflation data comes out, if we do get this data and it comes out stronger, right? Inflation is rising again, or maybe it's gone up slightly. Like I said, I don't think they will increase the rates, but I think they will keep it flat at what it currently is, which is 4%, I'm pretty sure. And that could then keep supporting a bearish gold. And we could then see this level up I've been waiting for a very long time, 3846 getting hit. So at this point, because of this consolidation, I think the market is waiting on something. It could be US, China. You never know what happens. Every single day with Donald Trump as president is different. All right. It's different. So we don't know what's going to happen. He could all of a sudden start talking about China, US again. Obviously, we had that trade deal that was posted on the White House official website, which basically said they come to some sort of agreement, but we haven't seen it yet actually being released properly as like a deal and being signed. So if anything like that comes out, if anything with the government shutdown comes out where we actually have an end to this, or anything else right now, it could move the markets. But in my opinion, with CPI incoming, because of how reliant right now, in my opinion, gold and the dollar is on these interest rates, I think the market is going to wait for this week. And that could then give us real direction, real clarity, if we get any comments after this from any of the Fed members, especially Jerome Powell, right? Watch out for that. So right now, that's the technicals, that's the fundamentals. That is what I am waiting on. It's choppy, it's uncertain. And during these times, we need to remain laser focused and understand the bigger picture, right? Also, again, we know that the Fed now has printed billions of dollars into the economy, the US market at the moment, right? Over the last couple of weeks, been printing billions. And this has got people thinking that, when they had that last press conference, Jerome Powell mentioned the end of quantitative tightening in December, on December 1st. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be going into quantitative easing, which means quantitative tightening is they're taking money out of the economy to help curb inflation a little bit, to help it stop growing so quickly. Quantitative easing is where now they've done that for a little bit too long. The economy is slowing down. They're going to have to start printing more money again and putting it back into the economy to help support the economy and that cash flow. So by doing that, again, print as long as they keep printing money, as long as they keep printing the US dollar, that is just going to create a bullish foundation again for gold, right? Because again, it creates uncertainty. It's all about uncertainty, safe havens, risk on, risk off. So let's see. It's going to be an interesting week. I feel like we can have some sort of move this week. It's going to be quick. It's going to be sudden, just like we have seen over here. How long has this been consolidating between these two levels now? Pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. When's the last time we had a 9-day consolidation? It's not really. I guess it would be. I guess it would be in this area, but we're not really staying between two like levels here. It's still at least, I guess you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Yeah, I guess it would be like this period here where you kind of stay between like this area and like this area, I guess. And what did we have during this time? We had NFP unemployment, we had FOMC, then we got inflation, right? Then we got inflation, PPI. And then what happened after that? Once we got that inflation and PPI right here, this area, we started to then get direction, right? We started to get the breakout and we started to get direction. So we could be looking at the same. If again, Fed, Mr. Fed Chair Powell speech right here, right? Mr. Powell, Mr. Jerome Powell speech right here. He would have said something right here, right, that pushed the markets down. He would have been either bullish or bearish, right? Hawkish, or not. But yeah, that's. I guess this is a decent example from most recent. I mean, it kind of breaks out a little bit, and I guess I know you'd still stay between these levels. What levels are here? I guess you got 3375 right here. You got 3375 ish in that area, and then you've got 25, I guess, 33 in this area. So it's a decent level, but yeah, that is my thoughts for this week. Patience is needed. CPI is on the 14th, which is Friday, actually. So we might actually be able to look at something a little bit earlier on here. What do we have? That's on Friday. Retail sales PPI. Let's see. Let's see. We'll see what market open looks like on Monday, but the analysis remains above 4025. Look for I'll be looking for 4080 and then 4150. Below 3915, I'll be looking for my level that I've been targeting, like I said, for the past 3 weeks, 3846 to fill this range or to fill this range. Simple as that. And then, of course, we can look ahead to the rates, the inflation on Friday. But that's the analysis. If you guys want to join my Telegram channel, where I post, my trades or my analysis, pretty much, every day at what levels I'm looking at, or upload a little analysis video. You can go ahead and join that below if you want to come and join my private community, the #1 gold community in this industry, hands down. The link will also be down below as well. Make sure to like if you like this video, if you like the information, if you find it useful, like it. Leave a little comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 10K. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next video.